The more you struggle, the better.
I have but little time.
Shatter their bones!
We're playing a brand new Frost Death Knight.
Rhea can spell Zinjari.
This 01 is a mistake because this was actually from the free deck which I was given. So I should really reset that now if I can.
I require more mana.
Okay, that should change. Right, okay, that's better. Yeah, so we've got the new deck now. Right, so the reason why I traded in there... Got lag? Really?
Hello.
Yeah, so the reason why I traded in there is so he couldn't trade them ping it. Yeah, so...
Make no mistakes.
Right, okay.
I'm gonna win big.
Right, okay, so, yeah, sorry about all that delay and sorting out the OBS recorder. Okay, yeah, so we're playing Frost Death Knight, and it was originally a 30 deck card, and it had 2 Acolytes of Pain in it, and I realised after playing the game and controlling the board really well, it had 0 win condition. There was no way you could actually win the game with it. All you could do is just stall and stall, but... So I put some win condition cards in. I put Astalor in, I put Denathrius in, put Patchwork in because I took a single blood rune in this deck. So I only took 2 freeze runes in total. Draw 2 spells if they're both frost, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Let's just play this because our hand's getting a bit on the full side here. And we included quite a lot of discovery. So we put 2 Valpyra Scoundrels, 2 Venomous Scorpids, 2 Pandaren Porters even, and 2 Nerubian Viziers in. And that's also we could get some big payoff cards, like maybe even a blood card, or an unholy card. That should be decent damage to him.
Pick me!
Okay.
A smidge of this, a pinch
Oh
of
no!
that.
Yeah, so I've got to try not guessing the card. Otherwise I'll burn a card, and it could be Patchwork, so I don't want to risk it. It's probably Cold Case. Cold Case is a nice card though. But I don't have any synergy with it, so I'm just going to go for this. Oh no!
Yes, that's the one.
My hand. Make no mistakes.
Okay, so I accidentally guessed the correct card. Alright, let's see. Counter spell. Oh, he probably played it straight away. I didn't notice. Alright, fine. Alright, let's have a look here. 2 zones rebuild, that's really good. This can kill that off straight away, actually. I really want to save the coin for a combination of brown with... Well, actually... No, there's nothing I can combo it with. How desperate am I here? I'm more of a nutrition deck, so I should really focus on controlling the board more than anything. Okay. I can always do this with a hero power next turn. Transform an undead minion into... So for 4 mana I can get a 4/5. Rather actually have something on the board. Oh! I'm looking at my deck and wondering what 8 drops do I have. Yes, I do have an 8 drop. Which is Astalor. Well, I'll probably just use the Bran to create a few Astalors. So now, the nice thing about this hero power, which no other hero power can do, is I can actually test mage secrets out and not have to use my poison up on the wrong victim. So let's do this. So that's a Oasis Ally. Looks like Ice Barrier or Vengeful. Okay, well I can always test it out with my ghoul. That's easy. Wow. Okay, it's quite a good counter to a lot of secrets on my hero power, isn't it? Okay, let's put this down here. Okay, I'm up to 13 already. I did keep the Denathrius in my opening hand because I was facing a mage. Mage is generally quite slow. They do have big burst turns, but usually by turn 10, that's when you need healing. They usually don't kill you with Mordresh unless you do really badly. Especially against a frost deck like mine, where I'm very good at stalling any tempo plays. He's also a stall deck. So it's freeze versus freeze. Right, so I'm going to test out this first. Vengeful. At the end of your turn, this minion dies. Huh. Well, if he really wants to keep these on the board so he can use Frost, whatever it's called. Unfortunately for him, well, I hope this is going to work. I'm running mainly Frost spells in my deck, so let's see if I clear the door. Frost and Frost. Boom. Say goodbye. So I guess if he wants to get the 3 skeletons, he'll have to do this. Or maybe he could ping, then do the skeletons, yeah. It's another way of doing it. I've got to be careful playing this, because this is going to put a full board of skeleton targets, because they're all 2 health. So this is a nice one. So this I can play, kill that, then transform it using this unholy spell. So I've got unholy spells, I've got frost spells, and I've got a blood minion. So blood is basically the control deck, the attrition deck, I would say. As Frost is more of a control deck, it controls the board much better. As blood is more about surviving. What happened there? What happened there? What did it swap with? That was strange. Alright. I'm not sure what happened there.
Death calls.
Not doing that. not this yet. Yes, I can do. I do 2 damage. And 5 with this. Okay.
I see insanity.
So I'm going to change this.
What little time.
Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, so change this into that.
Destiny
Left with 6 mana.
Who here can spell?
Choose this quickly.
Anybody?
6-8's good. Oh, just got there in time. Okay, so I got 1 mana. 1 mana assassinate. Very nice. Right, I don't actually have theatre on my deck. Interesting. Okay. Who knows what this is? This is a waste of Salai. Gonna go for another board clear with the skeletons. I'll leave up a 5/3. Nice. So he hasn't buffed up his hero yet. I do have to be careful. I'm getting a bit low here. I think it's a good time to put Asta on the board. Let's just hope I get a brand now. That'll be perfect. That'll be a very nice straw here. Play this 6 drop. I'll play this first though.
The more you struggle, the better.
All minions in my hand. 2/2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get me a bit more healing.
My rule is eternal.
Okay, I mean, this is a good card.
I require more mana. You look tasty.
Oh, it costs 1 left over. That's very nice. Okay.
And defile these lands.
That's going to heal me up a tiny bit. I assume he's got a way of killing this. He's going to leave a couple of zombies up. Raise up to 6 corpses. So this spends corpses, basically.
A smidge of this.
Okay, well, at least I'm not going to overdraw here, in case I accidentally guess it like I did last time. I was trying not to get it. I thought he'd take cold case. So I thought he's oh, it could be he's just not a skeleton deck. He's just running the Night Cloak Sanctum just for the sake of controlling the board, freezing big minions. Okay, so we've got 16 damage. We should get lethal in 2 turns. Oh, 1 minute. We've got Denathrius next turn.
Most intriguing.
Okay, I think that was a 2 mana card, so he can play his 9. Yeah, Rune of the Archmage. Let's see what happens. That's going to actually help my Denathrius. Yeah, just keep damaging your own minions. Oh, beautiful. This could be Denathrius. 25. We've done it. That's it. Oh, nice. There you go. And that is what I was missing the first time I played this Kansas set. I made quite a few changes. It's actually very different because it's actually got Renathal in it, so it's completely different from the original one. But obviously it's got the basic Frost cards, up to two what's it called? 2 Frost runes. I'm gonna have a very quick look at the deck. I think it's really good, this deck at the moment. It's got patchwork in it, and yeah. So let's go to the collection. I've got a lot of nice new decks actually, which are very playable. Have a look at them quickly. Frost Death Knight, that's one I just played. You've got a nice Secret Mage deck, Jailer Paladin, Blood Death Knight. I'm hoping you all saw that video with my my nice blood Death Knight deck. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, you know, survive and heal and big Astalor or what's the other curse? Mograine, Alexandros Mograine or Denathrius as your win conditions. Right, Arcane Hunter, which is a nice idea which I just saw today. Which is the idea of using this like a sleeper card. Deal 1 damage, improved by your hero attacks this game. I thought, hero attacks? Oh, come on. You're going back for instance of the hero power, you know, you're going to keep using that like we did in the Quest Hunter, or last year in the was it Hero Power Hunter? I can't remember what it was called. Face Hunter. We used the gnomes to die, and it's not. Look at it carefully. Improved by a hero attacks this game. That means using attacks with weapons. So things like harpoon gun, candle shot, and bloodseeker. So might have another look. Might have a look at that another time. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, Arcane Hunter. They've got massive minion druids. They've got some nice alterations there. They've got Shock Spitter Hunter. So it's basically the same as Arcane Hunter. I'm not sure which version's better at the moment. Oh, my goodness. Right. Okay. Right. You got a Control Shaman there. You got a Quest Priest. Not quite sure. I don't think I did anything with that yet. Then we got Murloc Shaman. I adapted it a bit because of the new legendary minion. Then you got Unholy Death Knight, which I think is going to be a playable deck, even though it doesn't really actually have the Scourge in it or the other big card. That's obviously going to be a Lich King card. It's going to be a Death Knight, much of the Lich King card, because they all are in the Death Knight class at the moment. I'm not sure how to filter it out according to the runes yet, in terms of crafting. But you can tell like the square is basically unholy, the diamond is blood, and the circle is frost. So 1 minute, there was infect all minions when they die. All enemies when they die, you summon a 2/2 zombie with taunt. Yes, it's interesting. Similar to the idea of the blood card, the 5 mana blood card, which where is it? Where is it gone? Oh, is that it? Yeah, corpse. Yeah, here it is. Blood boil. Infect all enemy minions. So you've got this infect keyword here. Kind of. At the end of your turns, they take 2 damage. So you infect, do something to you. If your enemy is too eager to put stuff on his side of the board, you can actually take advantage of it. Let's look for these square ones. What was the square one which was really good? Choose an enemy minion. Your minions attack it, resummoning that die. That's only 1. I don't think Unholy is very good unless you have all 3 though. Yeah, for example, Grave Strength is such an important minion. The idea of Unholy is basically sort of like the undead army which just keeps resurrecting and coming back and back and back, and you want to buff it up. This is your Savage Roar on steroids. So this is like a Bloodlust, but you give them permanent 3 attack, not just for that turn. So this is a very, very aggressive token deck, the Unholy one. Army of the Dead, so you need 2 for them. See, when it comes to the Frost decks, that's not worth putting a 3rd Frost in, where you can have things like Patchwork for 1 blood. That's why my frost deck has got 1 blood rune and 2 frost runes, not 3 frost runes. Besides the fact that I don't actually have this card yet. Right, but when it comes to Unholy, you definitely want this card. This card is the payoff card for Unholy. You get a ridiculous board. If you think your opponent doesn't have a board wipe, then this basically wins on the spot. You get a huge board, like we're talking about corpses, which end up being 7 7 9 9 5 5 7 7 3 3 11 11 even, plus this. It's unstoppable, the board you can get with this card if you've got enough corpses, but it does use up all your corpses. And also, yeah, Stitch Giant, also 2 unholy. The Scourge is also 2 unholy. Right, so you know your big payoff cards are 3 or 2. So unless you've got a real reason, maybe you could play two unholy and 1 blood, so you can include Patchwork because it's such a strong card. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so that's yes, that's the unholy deck I've got at the moment. I'm probably going to alter it as well. I haven't really fine-tuned it. This is basically what they've given to me. Yeah. Anyway, but let's actually look at the deck which you're waiting for. Look at the timestamp to jump to this bit. Right. What is that? 2150. Okay. Right. So we've got a lot of frost cards, as you can see. We've got, I think, all the frost spells. Just type in keyword frost. As you can see, we've got all the frost spells. We don't have icy touch. It's good for combos. It's not necessary. It takes up 2. Also, Horn of the Winter. I don't think you really need that. It's really not that necessary. Yeah, but as you can see, we've got all the frost spells basically. Besides Frost Worm's Fury, which is an epic. Oh, we don't have Howling Blast and Glacial Advance either. Okay, so we're using basically, so there's quite a few frost spells we don't have actually. I just realised, but they're not that important. I looked at them carefully. I was thinking, should I craft them? Even though you shouldn't be crafting it until you know what the meta is going to be. If you're on a limited budget, like a free-to-play player like I am, down to 380 dust. Because I really wanted the Astalor, and Astalor's definitely going to be a strong key card. It's the new Denathrius basically. It's a key card in any deck at the moment, especially a control deck which needs a win condition. This is your win condition with Denathrius as well. So that means Theater's much weaker now because it can't take the Astalor and the Denathrius, unless you're playing a control shaman and they can repeat the battle cries of the first battle cry a few times with a Bolner or with the Parrot. Let's have a look. So we've got some spells here. We've got draw frost spell. So we've got a lot of frost package basically. We've got a nice starters. This is going to be very good against anyone trying to play a Trog. So if you think you're playing an aggressive deck, try going for this, because this immediately just kills off a Trog without having to worry about playing a spell. But the truth is, we've got board clears as well. 3 damage to minion for 2 mana as well. Discover a Frost Rune card. Right, draw a Frost spell. Okay, and yeah, we've got the card draw. Because generally, when you're playing a big deck, a Renathal deck, you want to have a lot of card generation and card draw. Because, well, more card draw. Because you're not going to get through your deck. And you're not going to get to the key cards. So therefore, you want your cards to be, you know, either none of your cards are key cards, all of them are useful, or you want to keep your one key card in the opening hand like I did in that last game. or patchwork. Right, so we got patchwork. That's where we got the blood rune. Destroy a random minion in your opponent's hand, deck, and battlefield. This destroys 3 minions, which is absolutely ridiculous. If it wasn't for that new Demon Hunter card, which transforms your minions into 0, well, it hides them in 0 cost spells, then yeah, this would destroy Demon Hunter. But yeah, because it will get rid of the Jace, it will get rid of the Zynox and Denathrius, if they're running Denathrius. We've got another blood card here, which is raise up to 6 corpses. There's 1, 2 risen footmen. So that's more of a, like a, you can see the idea of behind blood is you've got taunts, you've got things which protect your face, heal your face, give your face more health. Whereas freeze is basically, that's what you call attrition. Attrition is just survive, and then just go for a big combo at the end, or just fatigue them or something like that. Right, whereas Frost is more of a control deck. It's a bit faster than an attrition deck. It wants you to control the board with Frost and take over the board. That's the idea with the Frost deck. So you want to have more minions on board than your opponent, generally. And if they do put minions on, you just AoE them with different things like spells. What do we have here? Deal 2 damage to all enemies, draw a card. Right. So and the Unholy Death Knight is more like a faster zoo type deck, even though it might not win that quickly, but it'll put pressure on the whole time, and eventually then the Denathrius will just be so big, it'll just like could easily have 30-40 health by the time you get to play it, because there's so many minions you summon with the Unholy. Anyway, so this is what you want to do for your mulligan. If you're facing aggro, definitely keep this or look for this. If you don't, then you can, if you're facing a slower deck, then keep Body Burger as well. It's okay. Do Frost is good. You get to draw 2 cards for 2 mana, as long as you've got 2 corpses in your tank. Anything aggressive, you want to have the removal spells. Otherwise, if you're going for a slower matchup, then you want to keep anything which discovers a spell or a card. So Nerubian Vizier, Pandoran Importer, Venomous Scorpion of Valpera Scoundrel. Right, Pandoran Importer is especially good because it'll discover spells which don't start in the deck, which gives you a higher chance of getting spells from Unholy or Blood, and they can be very powerful. And Nerubian Vizier can discover a spell. It might be a Frost spell, which I think are the worst type, to be honest. The Blood ones seem to be the best. So that's 8 Discover effects, all for 3 mana. You've got Bran, which you want to play with Astalor ideally to get yourself 2 Astalor thingies. So ideally you want to play turn 10, Bran, Astalor Bloodsworn, and then the 5 mana Astalor. This will give you 2 5 mana Astalors plus 2 8 mana Astalors, which means in total 4 big Astalors which do 16 damage. So 4 times 16 is 64. So that's how much damage you've got coming over 4 turns if you've played an Astalor each turn. Assuming the Bran's not going to survive. It can be 128 if Bran survives all those turns, which he obviously won't. There's no way anyone would leave a Bran out like that. Unless they can't help it because you're frozen the board. Excuse me. Then you got School Teacher again, more discovery. Potentially 10 spells, which are just discovered. We've got Ajara here just for the extra value. Very flexible card. You can repeat a spell if you've got like a Blood Boil spell. What was it? Where was that as well? The blood one. Here we go. The blood boil spell. If you want to copy that, you can get 10 mana plus another 10 mana with the Azara treasure, which copies the spell, or you could just go for value and card draw by having the 1 mana, shuffle 5 random spells into your deck and draw 2 cards, which can be important if you're running low. If you think you need a big swing turn, then go for the Colossal. They're usually decent at swing boards, especially if you get Gigafin, which is the best of the lot. Just deletes your opponent's board. And it's unlikely you can use the other one, the one which deals the weapon which deals 2 damage for every spell you play to your enemy. Because you don't have that many cheap spells, but you know, maybe if you need to get just over the line and they've got lots of taunts you can't get to their face, so maybe that could be an option. So Azara is very nice and flexible. Thessarian is a reborn, dealing 2 damage, battle cry, death rattle. So basically he does 8 damage besides the 6 damage he does with his attack, assuming he attacks twice. So there's potentially 14 damage coming out of this. That's why it's a very good card. This is sort of like a Corpse Taker, just for 5 mana. And these elementals actually, 2/1, they actually do damage when they die. So you've got more board control. Again, these little annoying little pings which happen. You know, like from Thessarian, all those little 2 damages to random enemies, 2 damage to random enemies. They're all good for like wearing down medium-sized boards and helping you finish them off with your hero power. This is a nice heal you saw in the last game. This was quite important for keeping my health total at a decent health total, so he couldn't just like Mordresh me to death. Draw 2 spells. If they're both frost spells, deal 2 damage to all enemies. So I believe I've only got frost spells in this deck. Frost. In my deck, that is. Frost 6. Yeah. It's interesting, I just realised we're only running 6 spells in the whole deck. Yeah, so we're running 6 spells in the whole deck, so we're definitely going to be drawing frost spells. And then 2 damage to all enemies, which we managed to do that game. Patchwork's one of the best cards in the whole set. Possibly one of the best cards ever in the game, I would say. Destroy random minion in your opponent's hand, deck, and battlefield. So you take over the board, plus you seriously hinder their follow-up turn. So if they've got an answer to your patchwork, you might get rid of that with the patchwork, and also you might get rid of value, because a very important... I've done it twice already, I think. My patchwork's got rid of a Denathrius from his deck. So it's a really powerful card. This is, I would say it's even worth crafting if you intend to play Death Knight, but I would still hold off just in case Death Knight ends up being not good once people work out the best decks in the other classes. I doubt it. Death Knight looks very strong at the moment. This very good control tool. I think that's basically it. And then you've got Soul Breaker. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, get 2 corpses. So we do have options of healing up. So having a weapon is not so bad. Discovering a blood Death Knight spell, a blood rune spell, then that can heal you up. Anything else? This helps you draw minions. Anything else to say? Denathrius, if you're playing a slow deck, there's not so many Theatars around anymore. For 6 mana, it's just too slow. If you're playing a close game where you're battling for board, playing Theatar just loses the board immediately, and you might not even hit anything that good. So it's a very risky card to play now, Theatar, in any deck, except in Druid, where they've either got Celestial Alignment, and it's only 1 mana, so it's not such a big deal, or they've got massive ramp, so they can afford to play Theater plus something else which takes over the board. Anything else? No, that's basically it. So it's basically a discover sort of control deck. It's a very flexible deck because you've got so many discover options, and your main win condition is the Denathrius, the Patchwork, and the Astalor with Bran. Now, Bran with Patchwork, I haven't done that yet, but deleting 6 minions, oh, that is a nasty prospect. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. This is my Frost Death Knight with a bit of blood, and hope you enjoy it. Try it out, tell me how you find it, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.